Hey everyone. So I just finished the Dark Knight trilogy once again. It's probably the most enjoyable time I've had watching The Dark Knight Rises. The first time, I don't know how many times I've seen it. I've probably seen it maybe maybe under 20. I don't know. Maybe about 10, 15 times. I don't know the number, to be honest. But wow, do I really see a great conclusion to the movie, to the trilogy. Um, I think Christopher Nolan, who directed the movie, leaves it as like an open book for like another director to continue it on without Christian Bale and with maybe Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I haven't really, I didn't, even in the theater, when Batman's taken the atom bomb, and spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen The Dark Knight Rises, which came out, it was about 8 years ago now, at least. So, yeah, about 8 years. When he takes the atom bomb and he puts it out in the bay with the cord on the Batwing, which is called the Bat. People, even my sister, at the time asked me if Batman lived or died at the end. And it's kind of, I think some people say it's not really open for interpretation because the answer is there at the end, but seeing it again, the answer could be up to you to decide, up to consideration, or up to how you see it, how you feel it. Because when Selena Kyle, Catwoman, was there with him just before, it gets me all the time. Though throughout the movie, even the first time viewing it, I didn't like. It wasn't a movie that made me like cry my tear ducts out as much as it was enjoyable and sad in a way that Christian Bale had to hang up the cape because I really liked him as Batman. And for those that don't like the Batman voice that he did, you have to go and complain to Christopher Nolan because in the second Batman movie, Christian Bale did the voice like he did in the first Batman Begins movie of his movie. And then Christopher Nolan basically just wanted him to have more of this growling, just this scary, just this kind of, this voice that was way different than Bruce Wayne's voice. So he kind of did an overdub and re-recorded it. But I think in the third one he really overdid it because under Chris Nolan's direction, and I think his voice, he did it kind of not unrecorded. He did it as he was doing it with people holding the mics up top and just recording it on film. But Catwoman is like, you're gonna get it on in the out throughout the bay or whatever. She's asking him or stating to take the bomb out on the bay and then just go on autopilot and then basically just eject. And then what I didn't really pick up on for up until now. I mean, he has said it, but I didn't really pick up on it throughout many times. I mean, he has said it. I mean, if he says it, then you should pick up on it. God, I'm going through so much arthritis right now. he says no, no, no autopilot. And after the bomb explodes, uh, Lucius Fox finds out with some of the people working at Wayne Enterprises that Bruce Wayne patched the autopilot 6 months ago. He's like, "Could you tell me the name?" I was like, "Oh, it was patched 6 months ago, Bruce Wayne." But then there's another thing that at the burial, and there's just four of them. There's just Commissioner Gordon, uh, John Blake, who grew up with Bruce Wayne, and who's also a character from the comics. And they kind of do that little tease, like, "Oh, you should use your full name. I like that name, Robin." Yeah, that's as close as they'll get to have Robin in the movie. I like Robin, but they didn't really make Robin in Batman. No, Batman Forever and Batman Robin. Uh, too likable, so there hasn't been a Robin ever since then. But there's the burial of Commissioner Gordon, John Blake. It's like sort of the same thing in Spider-Man: Homecoming. It's just like you should use your. Oh no, that's the Dark Knight Rises. You should use your full name. I like that name, Robin. But then in Homecoming, it's like I thought you don't have any friends. Like my friends call me MJ. Oh, but your name's Michelle through the whole entire movie. Ooh, okay. So yeah, Commissioner Gordon, John Blake, Alfred, and Lucius Fox are there. Those are the only ones because I guess he kind of burned down his name through the first movie when he has his house burnt down, his whole entire family name of the mansion burnt down, and rebuilt it from scratch up until the third movie, and then the second movie he was in the penthouse. She didn't have a mansion in the second movie when the Joker was running rampant. And I always wished in the Dark Knight Rises, yeah, it's like the second Batman movie with no title saying Batman. Very, very risky for Warner Brothers, I guess, at the time. But the Dark Knight made like $1 billion. I'm not sure how much the Dark Knight Rises made, but I never see a movie based on it. Oh, it's made $1 billion. I gotta go see it. Oh, it's good. There's been movies that have not made that much money, and I've enjoyed them. So there's those things, and then you see Alfred's little fantasy come to life, where he goes to this little cafe and sees Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle there, and they don't say anything to each other, and they could have ended the movie just like Alfred just going like just seeing him and just smiling, just going. Just nodding and not saying a word. I wish they could have cut like that. And then John Blake has access to the Batcave and to the new Batcave, I guess, and to maybe the mansion. Who knows? But people are like, who's he gonna be? Is he gonna be Robin? Is he gonna be Nightwing? I don't know, but I'd like for them to do a continuation with John Blake being Batman, and I believe he's going to be the next Batman because it ends and Commissioner Gordon is resigned, but maybe he's not resigned. I don't know if he resigned or went back on the force. And the bat signal is there. It's not lit up, but it's there. Maybe they're taking it down. I don't know. But then John Blake goes to the cave and gets access to it and gets harnesses and clips and goes over there and then rises up. And bats are surrounded him. So I'm pretty sure John Blake is going to be Batman. But this is 8 years ago now. This movie came out. And yeah, some of the things, like, it's such an emotional. I don't know. I think it has more impact on me now than it did. Just what everything's going on, because it's like like a war kind of veteran, kind of post-apocalyptic after the chaos stuff with the Joker. But then this movie does what the Joker wanted to do, like pretty much most of the movie. It like blows up bridges, kills thousands of police officers, while it explodes a football field. Is very close and exploding Gotham to just nothing and ashes. And within a couple minutes time gets taken out to the bay, and then just, yeah. So with Selena Kyle being there, I don't think Batman actually died. I think Batman died, but Bruce Wayne is still alive and went and escaped with Selena Kyle and left and went to live some sort of what you would call normal life, but no life is normal, especially Batman's life when you're dressed up like that. Even Superman's not that normal either. Yeah. When Alfred leaves within the first hour of the movie, it's like, I'd set you up with a chimpanzee if it brought you back to the world. It's like, you're not Batman anymore. You're not Batman anymore. It's like you're just waiting for things to go bad again. It's like, I thought you wanted to live a life before, after that awful cave and stuff. And then him bringing up the letter that he burnt from Harvey or Rachel's letter that she wanted to marry Harvey Dent over him. That's just, wow. Yeah. It's like, you're leaving. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna send this to Mr. Fox, but then that's it. I've buried enough members of the Wayne family. It's like, you're leaving. It's like, leaving is the only thing that I have to do, or yeah, leaving is the only thing to do. So yeah, and then the whole burial thing where he's just like, it's like, I failed you. You trusted me, and I failed you. So it's not. I mean, yeah, it's sad, but I've seen more conclusions in movies that brought more tears to my eyes, like Shazam, even, that came last year. It opened with the villain's origin and a very relative, or very relative, something to relate to, a very sympathetic villain in some ways. I find the villains that are the ones to remember, the ones that are sympathetic, who don't think that they're doing anything wrong, who just see that they're doing something in their point of view, which I guess Bane is. But then in each and every Christopher Nolan movie, people talk quietly, like, but Batman has to come back. I find there's a lot of quiet voice, and then when the action happens, it's like loud. But in the Tim Burton movies, even though I don't gravitate towards those are good movies. It's more of a classical movie and charm to it, the Tim Burton movies. But the Christopher Nolan movies, which are the Dark Knight trilogy, there's some good things about them, right? There's some takeaways. Yeah, after the Dark Knight came out, it was like 4 years of people like, ooh, it's gonna be the Penguin and the Riddler, and people didn't even know if there was gonna be another Batman movie under Christopher Nolan. I don't think Christopher Nolan wanted to do another Batman movie. He just kind of did it to close it off. I wish they could have had a scene of Heath Ledger hanging upside down, and having just a scene from The Dark Knight and just saying where he went to. But they didn't want to say anything and due to his memory, and just I guess it was very painful for Christopher Nolan and for maybe Christian Bale. They worked with him on that movie. And a lot in The Dark Knight Rises has to do with what Dent did when he snapped, when his face got burnt. But in the comic books, he got acid on his face. And Aaron Eckhart is like, man, no one talks about him in that movie that much, but he was just great in that movie. In The Dark Knight, when he's playing Harvey Dent, Two-Face. I love Batman. He's side-by-side Spider-Man with me. But I don't know who I like more. There's always a fight between the two, right? I don't know, it's hard because sometimes I watch a Spider-Man movie, I'm like, oh, Spider-Man, you're my favorite. And then Batman, it's like, oh my god, it's just like, Batman, you're my favorite. When Bruce comes out of the pit where he broke his back the third time and actually gets out, and then you hear that music by Hank. Was it Hank? I'm screwing up. Like my mind is like a sponge. Alzheimer's. I'm getting coronavirus, because I guess the coronavirus can impact your memory, right? Our memory's gone. Just you wait. The memory will just be crazy if someone got the coronavirus and survived it. It's like be like, kahuna. Don't say that word. Yeah, the music is great in the entire trilogy. Very epic. Don't listen to it too much. I don't drive. I don't have a license, but was it Hans Zimmerman? Hank, close enough. It's probably the English version of Hans. Hank. No. But yeah, there's just that. I'm not sure if James Newton gluten food Howard was part of the music on this, but then Hans Zimmer even did the score on The Lion King, Batman vs Superman, Man of Steel. Yeah, loads of it. And I have Deadpool to watch, Deadpool 2, and then Logan to finish off my X-Men stuff. And I'll probably do that sometime. I just wanted to say that it was a great time watching this stuff, and really great conclusion. So far, Batman hasn't had a really good conclusion like the Dark Knight trilogy. I would have had it with Michael Keaton, but I'm not sure in the same way. I don't know how I would relate and feel too much with Michael Keaton's Batman. I don't know if I do, really, because he kills, and that's his number one rule. But Christian Bale's Batman, sometimes he just doesn't choose to save those people, or, does something deliberately, so then the bad guy kills himself with a missile or something, but then he grabbed Harvey Dent, and they both fell, but then he lived, which is crazy because he wasn't covered in armor too much. But I think what it said that Harvey Dent maybe like broke his neck or something. I don't know. But they didn't really give much of a backstory, and Michael Keaton didn't even say too much. He was like this mysterious guy wearing a turtleneck sweater, and they made Joker his parents' killer, which was never in the comics. It was Joe Chill. So Christian Bale and Christopher Nolan got it right. Yeah, in the third movie, his voice can be a little bit silly, but if you don't want people to know who your real identity is, disguise your voice and wear a mask. But he's wearing, half a face. But it's it makes more sense that people would know who Batman is rather than Clark Kent and Superman, right? Though I've been trying to watch videos on that, I just can't understand it. But let me know what you think of the whole Dark Knight trilogy. Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, and especially on the last one, the conclusion. I heard that Christian Bale turned down millions and millions of dollars to not be in Batman vs Superman out of respect of the world that Christian Bale created, and sort of a realistic world. If Batman were there, I mean, it was the most realistic Batman movie that they made was The Dark Knight. But anyway, hopefully you like my little thing after watching it, and I'll see you guys soon, probably.